I've been saying for the longest that I was in need of a beach trip, a really good beach trip, just a beach day actually. I want blue water, nice sand, sun soaking into my skin. That's what I'm getting out of my Aruba weekend trip. Hello, my name is Chloé and this is Brands of Chloé. So if you would like to see how I booked my extended weekend trip to Aruba for a pretty great price, under $350 round trip flight and Airbnb for 2 nights, stay tuned and see how I did it in my Book a Trip with Me to Aruba. Coming to Aruba, I was truly in need of a weekend getaway and obviously something close to New York because this is only a Friday to Sunday trip. I had off from work on Friday, so I just needed something close by. Aruba is just under 4 hours from New York JFK, so that worked out perfect. Okay, so let's start with flights. So I booked my flight through JetBlue, both ways on JetBlue, but I booked one ways. So on the way going, I used some points, and then on the way back, I just paid it outright. I booked this trip like less than a month out. Yeah, I had been searching for a while, and then I originally booked this on August 13th, 2024. Originally wanted the earliest flight available, but that one was more points when I was originally booking it, so I didn't go for that one. I went for the 8:46 a.m. flight option. And so I booked that, and this was 10,500 points. This was the flight I originally chose, and this was the taxes on it. Flight situation was a little messy because literally later that day, the price went down. The price went down, or the points went down, and the points went down for the flight that I really wanted, which was the earliest flight because, you know, this was a short trip. I want to try to get as much time as I can there at my destination. So I canceled the flight. It was obviously within 24 hours, more than 7 days in advance, so you can cancel it. So I canceled it. They refunded me the money for the taxes and the points, and then I just booked it again for that earlier flight time. And now this flight was only 9,200 points, same amount of taxes, so that worked out perfect. I got the flight that I actually wanted and for less points. Also, I do have a JetBlue Plus card, so I actually get 10% back points for JetBlue flights. So this one-way flight really only cost me 8,280 points. Not bad for a one-way international flight. Now, so this is my return flight, Aruba to JFK. As you notice, I am selecting Blue Basic, and there's no issue with that because starting September 6th, 2024, JetBlue is now allowing carry-ons for Blue Basic flights. All these airlines and these restrictions are just annoying, but JetBlue came to their senses and now they're allowing carry-ons for a Blue Basic flight. If you don't know, Blue Basic fare for JetBlue is basically like basic economy for Delta and the others. So yeah, this is my return flight. I did have a small travel credit in my account, so I used that on the return flight. So in total for my round trip flight, I only paid out of pocket. Not bad. Now, before we get into my Airbnb, what I chose and the cost of that, let's talk about my new luggage. Okay, ooh, it's heavy. Okay, and if you notice, no zippers. Zipperless Luggage, thank you so much to Level 8 for reaching out, and I was able to pick this suitcase. When I tell you, this was such perfect timing too, because my birthday's coming up in October and I've been wanting a zipperless suitcase. This was going to be my birthday gift to myself this year, so thank you Level 8 for an early birthday gift. They were literally one of the companies I was looking into to purchase a zipperless luggage. I got this in a carry-on size. Been great so far. Okay, so I went with the Hegent carry-on luggage in the 20-inch size. I got the navy color because one thing about me, if it comes in blue, I'm probably going to get it in blue. That's my favorite color. So it has a 38-liter capacity and it weighs about 10 pounds. This is available on Amazon, and if you go on Amazon, there's a $30 off coupon right now. And I also have a coupon code for you for an extra 5% off through Amazon. I will put that in the video description box, so make sure you check that out. But it also comes in this gray color and also the black color. So this is available on Amazon, and I will have this linked in my description box for you. I had this obviously in the airport with me so far for the trip, and I will say the wheels, they're fluid. The wheels move very easily It can spin very easily. It has a nice like soft closed handle. This is the material feels pretty solid, so I like that about it. In the manual, there's instructions on how you can set the locks. You can set the lock code to be the same for both of the locks, or you can set it to be different. It's up to you. The suitcase has a couple of different compartments. So we have this top compartment here. This top compartment has a flap that has a section for your liquids, so it can kind of keep it safe just in case anything comes undone in the suitcase or opens up. And then on the other side, it's kind of like just this mesh compartment. On the main side, it comes with this little detachable panel, and it also has these straps for you to strap in all of your items. I use the straps and the panel kind of like a compression in a way, and I actually really like that about the suitcase. It made it easier to smush my clothes down. And this is everything I was able to pack in the bag. My trip was 3 days and 2 nights, but honestly, I had enough clothes in here for 4 days and 3 nights. So this is definitely a great weekend carry-on. It honestly fit a lot. And of course, I have to mention packing cubes, use them. And of course, it has 360 wheels. Oh my God. Survived though, so it's durable, right? No dents. Okay, we're done with this section. Of course, I wanted to travel with it first before I spoke about it on my channel. Basically, a couple years ago, I saw a video and it was explaining how like you could just easily open up luggage with a zipper. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. So after that, I've kind of just been wanting a zipperless luggage. So for checking the bag, I feel like it's a really safe option to have, because then you can't, get your stuff stolen easily without you even knowing. But also for me, like when I'm traveling and you're leaving your bags in like hotels, Airbnbs, etc., you just never know. I'm leaving like my passport or like my laptop, camera equipment, stuff like that. If I'm leaving that in my bag and I'm like going out for the day, now that I have a zipperless bag, I feel much more secure just leaving it in the bag and leaving it in the Airbnb, the room, whatever it is. I've always used like the locks before, but again, if you have a zipper, it's really not making a difference. So glad I was able to get this. Level 8 has so many options on their website for zipperless bags and traditional zipper bags if you're interested in that. But I was so glad to pick this. I will say I feel like this carry-on size was like a smidget smaller than my other carry-on, but this one was still fine. So you can go to the description box to see the discount code, the direct link to their website or their Amazon site, whichever you prefer. Definitely let me know if you have any questions about it. I've traveled with it, so I can answer your questions. Thank you again, Level 8, for my early birthday gift. I'm so excited to finally have zipperless luggage. Okay, so you see the flights, you see the bag I'm rocking with, and now let's talk about accommodations. So this is a 2-night trip, so I decided to go with Airbnb. Aruba can be very pricey. There's a lot of resorts and everything on the island, expensive hotels and resorts, honestly, but there is definitely affordable Airbnbs, and I was able to find one. Another quick reminder for Airbnb: Delta and Airbnb have a partnership. You have to Google the link, but I'll also put it in my description box. You have to book it directly from this link or else you won't get the points. But basically, if you book an Airbnb, you can get Delta miles. Why not, So that's exactly what I did. So this is the Airbnb I chose. Pretty simple, just perfect what I needed for 2 nights, 1 person. This is a solo trip, so this is what I picked. Also, I was able to use a work perk discount kind of thing. So another reminder to look into your employee benefits and discounts or whatever points and stuff you might have from work, because I had $125 to spend. There was like, you can buy like work swag or you could get gift cards. And so there's an Airbnb gift card. And a couple years ago, I did buy a gift card for Southwest because they had Delta, Southwest, Airbnb, all different options, just like from my work thing. I got a $125 gift card for Airbnb. So I used that and then I paid the difference. This is what I paid out of pocket. So I'm actually here in Aruba right now. This is my last night I'm filming this because I'm just a last minute gal. I decided this trip was going to be very relaxing. I was debating, honestly, if I was going to book any excursions or activities and stuff. And there were some options like more intense that I was like, I'm definitely not doing that. But then there was a boat ride, and I love boat rides. I like always go on boat rides, pretty much any tropical destination I go to. So I was debating that, but I was just going back and forth, back and forth. I didn't really want to book it. The Flamingos. So if you're staying at the Marriott Renaissance World, whatever, it has a whole long name. Basically, it's a Marriott Renaissance hotel in Aruba. If you're staying at that hotel, you can go to Flamingo Island for free as many times as you want. If you're not staying at that hotel, you have to purchase a day pass for the island, and that is $130. I thought about it. I was like, okay, let me look into it. So when I originally booked the trip and I looked into it, it didn't say that there was like any passes available. So I was just like, oh, well, I guess I can't go, or like when I get there, I'll just figure it out. Like I'll call them up or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. That was my plan for that. So I wasn't pressed for the Flamingos. And then the boat ride, I kept on debating, and I did end up booking it when I got to Aruba, and I'll show you that one. I booked it on Viator. I actually ended up getting $5 off for that too, because Amex had like a promotion. If you spend $50 or more through Apple Pay, you'll get $5 back. And when I was booking it on my phone, I used the Apple Pay option, so I got $5 back for that. One thing about me, I try to find all the deals and use up everything that I can, okay? Just, y'all should know that already about me, but if there's a deal, I'm gonna try to find it so I can make my trips as affordable as possible so I can continue to travel on and on throughout the year. Like, I want multiple trips. I know some people prefer to do like one really big, luxurious trip. And personally for me, I rather do smaller trips, more affordable trips, so I can travel more. So that's my travel style. I am in Viator's partner program, so if you would like to book any of the things that I've booked in the past for my trips, be sure to do that. I'll link it down below. I have Iceland, I have Guatemala, I believe St. Martin up there, all the different trips I've been on. If I booked something for Viator, you could find it there in my Viator shop. Okay, in terms of miscellaneous fees, so starting July 1st, 2024, Aruba does have an entrance fee. I think they call it a sustainability fee now that you have to pay. You have to fill out the form and pay the fee before you even board your flight. So 24 hours before my flight was going to board, JetBlue sent that to me because I had no idea, honestly. I did not do enough research before this trip, but that's neither here nor there. It worked out. I was taking the air train from Jamaica, so Jamaica LIRR. So I was in my Uber on my way to Jamaica at like 4 in the morning, and that's when I was paying my little entrance fee to get into Aruba right before my flight. So yeah, do that beforehand, and that was $20. They don't accept Amex on that website, so just keep that in mind. So here are the totals for planning my solo weekend trip to Aruba: $536.94. This video might come out of order. I know I still owe you a South Africa travel vlog, another book a trip with me, El Salvador. I have a lot of travel content coming, I swear. I'm really trying to catch up in September. So stay tuned for all of that. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.